Hi guys, I'm here with Wes, who is fifth place and the ninth member of our jury in All Stars. Hi Wes.
Hi.
So you did get fifth place in back-to-back seasons. I'm sorry, but it's an accomplishment to get fifth twice. So did you expect to go home here, and kind of what led to it? Can you walk us through that?
Um, you know, ever since Final Nine, I was scrapping, round to round. I didn't have much of a long term plan in mind from that point on. So everything for me was just like, how do I get to the next round? And I knew that was going to be my game for the rest of the time, no matter what. So I mean, yeah, I can't say that I don't know, but then like what happened was after Grace left, Milo came to me and like basically told me everything I wanted to hear, and told me that you know he went and read my cons in season 6 and realized that I'd never wanted to be against him, and realized that like I was the reason that he made it to final 5, because I protected him from Courtney and Brandon all the time, and over and over and over again, and he knew that because he'd read all my cons, and you know so he basically came to me and said, like, look, like, I idled Grace out instead of you because I really want to actually get you to Final Five and like protect you in the way that you did to me. And I just bought it, hook, line, and sinker because I needed to, and I needed something, in this game that was fun, and so it was fun. I had a really fun time playing with Milo in the rounds that I played with him, and but yeah, I was really shocked to be going. I really thought that him and Alicia were going to take me all the way.
Okay, so what would you say your biggest regret from the game is?
Wow. uh, um, not trusting Grace with like everything that she wanted to do and like knew that I should have done. Um, yeah, that's my biggest regret is like doubting that she knew what was best for us to do all along.
And what would you say your proudest moment is?
Um, Creating a situation where Grace and Courtney could like respect each other as people, and not just as people, but as like mutual winners and friends, and yeah, that's my proudest point. For anybody that doesn't know, like, there was a moment in Swap Tribe where I overplayed. I was always intending to play the entire game with Grace, and no matter what, and I ended up overplaying to Courtney and selling her on Grace and I not being together, and that led to Courtney saying some things to Grace that she didn't appreciate, and I knew that the two of them would come into this game interested in getting to know each other, and it killed me to know that I caused, you know, a rift that shouldn't have been there. And so I worked relentlessly through the Swap Tribe to rectify that situation and like own it and like get us in, like the three of us and two of them into a place where we could like at least play the game together, even if we were like playing each other too. Like at least we were playing the game and having fun. It sometimes, and so yeah, my proudest moment is getting through that swap tribe, all three of us alive, and um, wanting to work together for a little while, and being able to bond as people.
So the round that Brandon went home, this is a while ago now. Also throw our minds all the way back. You
Yeah.
did waste an idol on yourself, but that idol wasn't purple and it wasn't the merged. It wasn't yellow. It wasn't the color of any tribe you've ever been on. So can you walk us through what happened with that?
So that was Courtney's idol, and you know, I don't know how much of the story you want me to tell right now, but I knew Courtney had this idol. She came to me in Swap Tribe, and immediately told me that she had it, and um, I guess I've kind of explained this to a couple other people this way, but I that thing is like the One Ring in the Lord of the Rings. Like I'm like Gollum with it, and I always say in every pregame interview, like in every casting application, that like like the question always comes up, and it did in this one, that like, what's your stance on idols? Do you want to have them? And I always say like, I don't want to hold it. I just want to know where they are. And I did. Like by swap tribe, I knew where two of the idols were. I knew Greg had one, and I knew Courtney had one. And I knew that if I really wanted to, I could get this idol from Courtney somehow, some way, because of how loyal she was to me. And she basically told me, as soon as she didn't say it was my idol, but she'd said, like if you ever need it, it's yours, and then there came a point in that swap tribe where I thought that Greg was like trying to use his idol to gang up with Tim and Tommy to like kill me. And so, I ended up with it in that moment, thinking I needed it in defense, but we ended up not playing it, and that's a whole story people can read, figure out later. But like the long story is like, I made the move for Courtney's idol when I knew she was going home, and um, I didn't outright ask her for it, but I knew that if I explained to her how disappointed I was in the fact that she'd blown up my game, I knew that she would give it to me, and so I let her do it, and she did, and that's how I got it. And once I had it, it was just this like ball of guilt in my pocket. Like I hated that I had it. I hated everything about how I got it. I hated like that it was going to be this crutch, that I was going to end up having to like get ahead with it and then explain later that like I only got it because I played like one of my best friends, and like, and it's just so, I'm glad that I wasted it and never used it for anything other than like to just show how much of an ass I can be, like, I guess, because that's really like what it represented to me the whole time I had it. And so, I'm glad that I blew it in a panic because I thought Brandon was still trying to kill me, you know, and I'm glad that I never actually relied on it and got ahead with the idol itself. Um, yeah.
Two of your allies were idled out, or somewhat allies, Brandon and Grace, quite early in the merge. How did you recover from that and keep going and get as far as Final Five?
Um, by going back to my old ways in season 6, and I had ever since merge started, I actually like have this feeling that like that Sophia was going to be an important person in my game. I didn't know why. Like, we didn't really connect much in the beginning of the game. Um, but there was this idea that started on as soon as merge hit with Nate and I, and we had this talk one night about like he's big into Big Brother, and he was talking about how like you know the way you win is you find a group of four that's in the middle, and each one of you has a line to a different alliance, and you just take turns picking each other who's like alliances off one at a time. And like I just fell in love with this idea because I thought I saw it as a reality. Like, yeah, the brigade, that's exactly it. Like that's what we were trying to do. Like that's what I was trying to do. None of the three of the rest of them ever was actually interested. I never could get like Grace or Nate or Sophia to like really go hard on that idea, but like I actually saved Sophia in the first round. Like Sophia was everyone was out to get Sophia, and we were in that Kilimanjaro VC, and I like put my foot down at the end of that VC and basically like stopped everyone from going down that route because I saw that as like not only did I see it as a dangerous pass for my game, but everyone's game who like the other people who I care about in the game that were playing with me. And like so I saw like this brigade idea as like my exit strategy from Kilimanjaro. Like whenever Kilimanjaro finally blew up, like that was going to be my play on how I got Grace and I like out of that mess with some kind of like path, like that people wouldn't see coming, and so there were times where I would like throw Sophia a bone and like not I wouldn't go all in, like, but like but I let them know like Nate was at work during that tribal and didn't wasn't there to help like save them. So I had to like basically do it myself, and I only did it because I had the necklace on. Like we were in that VC and I had the necklace on, and I just knew it, and no one else in the game was willing to make a move because they were all afraid that just making the move was going to turn it on them. So I was like, fuck it. Like, I don't want Sophia to leave. I have the necklace. I'm sitting in a voice chat that's controlling the whole game right now. So I'm just going to say it and like tell everyone that we don't need to do this. And then that's basically what ended up happening. And that ended up helping me later because when I lost all my closest allies, when I single-handedly got them all taken out one at a time, Sophia was one person that I genuinely wanted to work with.
So, how would you say in your words that you played this season?
Personally and emotionally and like impulsively and destructively, if if that makes any sense. I feel like I played very like emotionally and like impulsively and I definitely, the only plan I really ever had was like that I was gonna get Grayson out of the end, and that was it, like, and so once that wasn't a reality anymore, I just scrambled the rest of the time to get to Final Five. Like I just scrambled and scrapped to get it in with Sophia that got me in with the Alioth, and then from there I scrapped with Milo to try and get in with him and do what they wanted to do, and the reason I turned on Tim and Tommy was because that's what Alicia and Milo wanted to do, and so I just like went back to my season 6 ways and scrapped, and I only ended up resorting to that style because like I panicked and felt like I was in a corner and felt like I'd like blown every chance at like the relationships that I might have had early on with the Fecta and Marak people. So I was like, here we are. This is what I'm going to do. So that's what I did. And it worked for a while. And if I could have won another challenge, maybe would have kept working. But it was always going to be like me scrapping. And regardless of which side I picked to work on at final nine, like final five, I was when I didn't win immunity at Final Five, I told myself, like, well, that's fine because if I don't make it through here without immunity, then nothing I've done worked anyway. Like, I wasn't, if I took Alicia out with defective people, they were just going to turn on me at Final Five. And so my best shot was to try something new with new people that I hadn't worked with yet, that I hadn't fucked over yet. Like that was kind of where my thought was at with it. Even though I had tried to wrangle votes on Milo, it didn't work. And then he had sold me on it. And so, yeah, I just scrapped and almost made it and didn't.
Okay, so I do have a question from Kevin, which shouldn't be asking, but I'm going to do it anyway. For Wes, what is the best DCI or DCL show of all time, and why is it Carolina Crown 2013?
It's not Carolina Crown 2013. It's Phantom Regiment Harmonic Journey. Because the Pocketball's canon from the mellophone section is just the most beautiful thing ever. I'm not wrong. There's nothing to be wrong about here. Like, I. So anyway, that's the answer. And the second best isn't even Carolina Crown either. It's Blue Devil's Godfather. Everybody knows that. Anyway,
Um, so who would you say left in the game that you're rooting for?
who am I rooting for? Uh, I don't know. Nate. You know, Nate.
I do need to read Tribal. And Nick is like, "Do you want me to do it for you?" And I was like, "No." So just give me 1 second, or I can do it while you talk. It's up to
That's
you.
okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No
You can just
live
edit. You can edit
reaction.
it out. You can edit it out later. Or if you're still recording, I'll just keep talking. But yeah, I mean, Nate's playing a very good game. He's playing the game that I wish I was playing, and the game that I wanted to be playing with Grace, and the game that I ruined, for us early on in merge. So yeah, I have to root for Nate. Nate probably knew I was coming for him. I mean, he had to with all the moves that I made. He had to know. I mean, Nate told Grace early on that she was crazy for wanting to take me to the end because I kicked their ass. That's literally exactly what he said. And I even told him that. I was like, I know you told Grace. I told us, I know you told Grace that you can't beat me. And maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I just was feeling a certain kind of way at the time, and I that's a mistake I always make is going showing too much of myself. Like I always feel like that's a good move because like I feel like it's a trust building thing if I show myself. But when I show myself, it just makes people threatened, and so Nate made the right move here, and he's continuing to make the right moves the entire game. So I'm definitely rooting for Nate.
And who do you think, if it's not the same person, who do you think has the best chance of winning?
Um, I don't know. Yeah, it's Nate. I think at this point, I think it's Nate. He just won. Well, uh, yeah, no, it's Nate. It's still Nate's got the best chance to win, and he deserves to. I mean, he really does. I talked about it with Alicia a lot, but we kind of knew that he was going to win the challenge with the counting cards because he won all the I don't know if anybody's noticed this or not, but Nate's won all the challenges that were like live challenges where there was like a stopwatch and you had like one shot at it. Like Nate's won all of those in this game. and so that just shows like how good he is under pressure. Night moves is another like live type challenge, so it's like, and he's really doing the hard work to like study. The reason I thought he was sold on going after Milo at F5 with me was because even though I wasn't going after Milo, the reason I thought he was sold was because like Nate was going back and reading old Final Tribals and seeing that
Is
Milo
there
had like
anything
really
else that
done
you
well
wanna talk
against
about that I haven't
everyone
covered?
and all this stuff. Uh, yeah, I guess I'll just say that like I do want to apologize to everyone, because I think I took things too personally, and made a lot of decisions that I overplayed in a lot of situations. Like I don't have to sit here and go through details, but if you're a person that feels like I overplayed and blew your game up, which is like everyone probably sitting in this lounge right now, then like I'm sorry. Like I just wanted to win really bad, and I really wanted Grace to win really bad. Like I was willing to do anything to get Grace to win this game, and I sacrificed not only my game but everyone else's here that's sitting in this lounge right now, I guess, to do it. And I'm sorry for that. I'm not sorry for that because I stand by wanting to get her to the end and get myself to the end. But just the way I did it, I just didn't have to do it that way. I could have slowed down and not been so maniacal and like jittery and nervous and paranoid and I do compare myself to Tony Vlachos, and that's not to say that I'm some amazing game player. I compare myself to him because of the way he like fucking talks and like he's like always swirly and he's like this guy's everybody's out for me all the time. Like that's how I am, like in my life and in these games and like you know it's hard for anybody to ever understand that, and that's why I was saying a minute ago that like it really sucks that I go to people all the time head on and try to solve whatever the problem is that I've had with them, whether it's in the game or not, like, and I always feel like that's the best way to handle it. But when you go to somebody and show them that, it's like they got caught off guard. They didn't like they've never had it happen to them before. Like nobody else in this game was just walking up to people and like saying stuff as it was. So just because I was doing it, like nobody was ever going to be interested in having me at the end, just because they know that I'm like comfortable talking about everything that I'm doing. And I don't know, like it's like what makes me good at this game is just my downfall, and unless I'm gonna do something like Sly and like win 7 challenges, like I don't know how I'm ever gonna get to the end, at one of these things. But I'm very sorry that I tried to do everything I could and didn't really care about whose game I was ruining like each round. Like I kind of had one target each round, and that person needed to go no matter what, and I didn't really care, what else was going on outside of like that one thing, you know.
Oh, Brandon wants
No,
to
I
know if
haven't
you've
seen Queen's
seen
Gambit because you and Grace were watching it together without me, and that's why I blindsided you. So,
Um, okay, so the jury love the jury word association that they have invented. So I'm gonna go through the jurors first, in word association just for the fun, and then we'll go
okay,
through the remaining people and the
yeah.
tribes. So Kevin,
Um, just amazing.
Courtney,
Pass for now. Can I come back to that?
Brandon,
Regret.
Grace,
They're like all gonna be regret. Like I don't know.
Tim,
um, respect.
B,
Inspirational.
Tommy,
King.
Chi.
Ghost.
So this is for everyone else in the game. Alicia,
Relentless.
Ben,
Um, a brick wall. I don't know. Yeah, what I wrote on my parchment. you know.
Milo,
Um, brother.
and Nate.
Winner.
Thank you so much, Wes, for playing and for joining me for this interview and for dealing with all the technical issues today.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been great. I've loved playing here, and I'm taking a long break from works, but at some point, we'll definitely be back. I think so. Thank you guys so much. It's been an honor to play with all of you, and I didn't have a one word thing to say about Courtney and Grace because it was really hard for me to. I can't put what I feel about these two people into one word. But they both know what they mean to me, and so there's just no way I can put one word on them. So that's what I want to say. Thank you guys. It's been great. I've loved it, and I've had a great time.